So it is up to us to do something about, not only for us, but, you know, for something that can present an alternative to, you know, oppressive, corrupt, you know, type of ideologies, polarization of the societies that are handled through the hatred, you know, incitements into hatred and stuff like this. And then murder through the use of psychiatry, unemployment, and so on and so forth. For everybody's good, we should do these things. We really should these things. We should get this thing going. The best, if I would go and describe the MK Ultra development, and that's pretty much what happens. And I believe in this kind of scenarios when MK Ultras go for like lengthy amount of time, when they go on for a while. Listen, in like 98, I was told in the US to just go home and start writing about it. Go on a YouTube, 98, go to YouTube and start talking about this stuff and so on and so forth. They told me, the US government requested from me this kind of stuff. In 99, they already started telling me in 2000 they told me, you're not going to make it. It's already getting late. And you're not going to even make it because as MK Ultra goes on, it's like more and more and more drugs that are used, and ECT, electroshocks. And so what happens is brain starts to lose capacity. And they tell you this kind of stuff. They practically force people into it. But the problem is that the victim doesn't know, you know, you don't know that one day you're just going to be placed in front of the fact, basically left without any kind of possibility for employment, that they're going to blacklist you, they're going to blackball you, force you into unemployment. You just don't know about this stuff. And I was also stupid enough to tell these people where exactly I would immigrate if I would immigrate. That was a big ass mistake. And as I gave those locations, they get to know all your people, relatives. Situation is becoming tough. Yeah, they repeated pretty much on several occasions to me, started to guarantee me that I will not be capable to do anything, that, you know, they just become like really, really discouraging. You're never going to make it, like 2002, it's too late, it's too late, it's too late. And they keep repeating to you. Finally, in 2006, I'm not going to forget Perry and Gennady Zhiganov. We thought we're going to do these things, but, you know, we realized that you just don't want to do them, so what we're going to do is we're going to burn your brain totally. Things were very, very bad for me, and you can read this on my news site, how bad. I suffered seizures from electroshocks, from amount of electroshocks, and somehow recuperated, finally, I would say it like at 2009 maybe, that things went back to normal, but otherwise, these people placed me practically almost on a wheelchair. This is how bad things were. Now, when it comes to MK Ultra, there's something else to it. You're treated like, you know, like a ball by these people. I was treated like a ball. It's like they would throw me like, they would hand me from one to another with all kinds of different issues, like I was a ball or something like this. Practically changing their own scenarios. And the one who became more and more ambitious and greedy, but was very motivating in killing me, in getting me killed, murdered basically, from already very beginning, I'm going to tell you, was a Borut Pahor. That's a Slovenian president. That individual would just, when it all started, this individual practically dream about, you know, that I should be just killed loudly. Repeated me that people like me should just be killed. Putin was also interested in this idea. But as they have to play along with this American people, don't forget I was even an American citizen. I mean, this is so dirty from American side. What they have done is like a total betrayal. What we read today about Donald Trump purging so-called spies that were accused by the Russian government and were provided with refuge in the U.S. Of tracking American, I should say, Russians who immigrated to the Russia and stuff like this. I mean, this is just excuse, because what this really is handled, all this stuff is handled from the top. They have suggested me something about like version like how Russian oligarchs and American type of oligarchs can bypass the government system and do this start arranging things between themselves. It's not true. This is total U.S. government, deep state involvement, about which today the media does not even dare to talk about. And I was the one, I insisted on this stuff, to have this stuff brought up, and the only thing that they come close, but they are totally afraid to touch the subject. I mean, because it's a lot of people involved in it, and I'm not going to say, it's all kinds of issues. As all this stuff changed from the females, and all it started also how I'm going to make the money and stuff like this is going to be. They talked about the billions of dollars at one point, how I'm going to make, how much money you're going to make, and I don't know what, and this and that. As all this stuff systematically started to disappear, and guess what? The old actors like Putin and Pahor, and more it was Vucic, Alexander Vucic, begun to gain the traction. And as much as Miroslav Berger, that's my neighbor again here, became impressed with the use of violence against me, with the use of psychiatry, this man became totally obsessed, had an idea about, they started to get an idea about how they can abuse me and point me out, abuse as a form of solution, that I would see this as a form of help, solution and stuff like this. Totally insane. So they came up even with a scenario. They came up even with a scenario on how abuse that I endured for the 6 months, it would be actually a gift to me. It would be actually a form of help. It would be a gift for me. This was from Putin and Lavrov, that this would be actually that kind of stuff that they would never ever approved, but because this would be a gift to me, that I would be financially awarded and stuff like this, and make sure not to mention Russia. Do not mention Russia, because Russia doesn't have the money. But America does have the money. So talk about America and talk about Israel, because these are two countries that have the money, not the Russia, but they're going to help me out. And how precisely are they going to help me out? Well, Alexander Vucic was very interesting in getting wealthy people involved in this case. I mean, this individual is a criminal. And you're talking about criminal, murderous thug as only possibly can be. This is a Balkan mafia. They figure out basically that they would give me a cancer. That's pretty much what X-ray guns are going to do to you. Ultrasound, which they have used heavily on me. Microwaving was done by Israel. It was done by the Israel. Did some bad stuff on me. But guess what? I mean, people that were involved in this stuff, they wanted me to talk about them. They'll tell you Americans talk about us. Israelis will tell you talk about us and this and that. And Russians tells you blame them. This is a gift. You're going to make a money, this and that. So what they do, pretty much what they do is this kind of form of help. Basically what they do. What they do is they give you a cancer. You also came to the issues that I'm going to have a holes in my brain and I don't know what else. All kinds of stuff went on. But on how I'm going to make a money. That it's going to be a money and this is a form of help. And according to the criminals like Miroslav Berger, who even suggested that in the end, these people will refuse to pay you the money and stuff like this, but that's basically when we're going to get involved, and that's when we're going to tell them that they actually have to pay you the money. You get this kind of crap? I mean, it was a Berger who did this shit together with the other neighbor here for 6 months. I mean, basically killing me. But in the end, what's going to happen is they're going to come out like as saints because they were the one that helped you out. And it doesn't matter if after 5 years you get a brain cancer. It doesn't matter if you get a bone cancer. It doesn't matter what kind of form you get of cancer and how you're going to die. Maybe like other two neighbors died here, that it was something that I have seen I could not believe. My own eyes, what was happening with these two people. And so yeah, you get the money, you obtain the money, it is the gift from these people to you, which is actually then passed along to them. Vucic dreamed about the money, how he's going to make the money. There were people here dreamed about how we're going to open the companies here in Slovenia and what it's going to be, they're going to be employed inside and stuff like this. Neighbor dreamed about, Dana Kolenz dreamed about all kinds of stuff like this. Totally perverted, insane. I'm just trying to explain to you how dangerous, how criminal Slovenia is, and why Slovenia should be excluded, absolutely. Kremlin satellite as it is, excluded absolutely from the European Union as well as from United Nations. This country should not be inside in here because the bosses of this country are not from the European Union. This country is handled not even from the Moscow. It's not the Russian people that are guilty for this stuff. It's a Kremlin. But as long as the Russian people tolerate this kind of stuff, then it's got to be seen in a different light. It's got to be seen in a way that, you know, it's going to leave the mark to these people in Kremlin. It's going to leave them a message that what they're doing actually really is not tolerable. It's not acceptable for the civilized world. When I came back from the US in 2006, there really was nothing that was good. American car, Mazda, made for American market. It was not even an American car, but that car, just because I brought one from the US, it was a piece of shit. And foremost, I was told every day by my father, by my niece's husband, and it didn't matter how nice I was. It didn't matter how I treated these people here. It was a piece of shit. It was worth nothing. American was no good. It was no good. My mother told me right here downstairs on the doorsteps when she returned from the sea with my sister to give her American passport because I am an American spy. These are the one sentence, the first sentence this lady greeted me after no less than 11 years and a half since we have seen each other without MK Ultra involvement. This is the type of hello that was, and believe me, if there was not for MK Ultra, if they wouldn't bring me on so many occasions here, she wouldn't have this kind of hello. But because I was just to be treated like a totally demented person, that's how I was treated. Whatever I said was wrong. Whatever I had was no good. US passport, American citizenship. I was told at the local employment office here in Novo Mesto by an individual that practically I'm nobody and nothing. That my sister is something because she was here, but that I am nobody and nothing, and because I went to America, and that I should not even, that I don't have the right to go to unemployment, actually not only to obtain any kind of unemployment support, which I never did, not in this country and nor in United States of America, but actually that I don't have the right to even go to local state employment office to search for employment, is what this individual have told me. And so it was like some sort of prelude into how I don't actually exist. Well, in the end, because since everything was no good, and the only thing I was doing here, I was like a tourist. I was paying here for the stuff, and the jobs, the work that I had performed, I didn't even get paid for. This is how far I went. And in the end, the tires from my car that I brought with me from the US and have bought brand new tires here in Slovenia were changed into some kind of totally used garbage tires. They poured oil on the roads in a place, in a portion of the city of the Trebne called Pakel. It translates to Slovenian hell, where I almost have skid off the road into a precipice, and if I would fell down with a car and on that road, I would be 1000% dead. I mean, you can read about that stuff on my blog, on my whatever blogs. This is how far this stuff have gone just in 2006, 2007, in 2008, after I won the case against local police in Novo Mesto, and actually psychiatrists appear here instead. That was for the stolen parts, which I have ordered for the repair of the vehicle from Germany. Police instead, at first, as they promised they're going to help me, have turned against me and have accused me of me harassing them. Listen to this stuff. They tell you that they're going to help you out. They promise you that. Then, as you come back, they become, over time, like 2 months after, it turned into actually threats against me, into harassment against me, till I have complained against them and won the police case on the police station against the police station. Oh, and for the reward, I got psychiatrists and social workers that came here and have demanded to see from me the US passport, or we're just going to go to the mental hospital. Like this. It didn't took me much time to disappear to the US. Back to the US, where they kept me again unemployed and have performed more abuse on me. Well, this is the kind of stuff we're going to, basically continuation of the stuff when it comes to personal items that I want to talk about today, that I want to discuss with you today. So I just want you to get the feeling, understanding of what kind of people that we are dealing with here. What kind of family, because nobody was more abusive than my family. Not even the neighbors. The neighbors did some extremely dirty stuff here. But when it comes to my family, this kind of family, with this kind of family, and with neighbors, believe me, you don't need, just like my co-worker have told me in Miami, who knew about it. He said, with this kind of friends and family that you have, he told me, and I didn't want to know about it. I just wanted to block all this MK Ultra stuff. With this kind of friends and family you have, he told me, you sure don't need no enemies, he said. And 100%, Trevor was his name. He was correct about it. Make no mistake about that. Me, in respect to people, Putin, Alexander Vucic, Medvedev, Lavrov, the only thing that I have to say about these people, if you're going to take time, you may want to go and you may just, click stop button, pause button to read this over, but this is how the whole thing have turned into. Or I should say, if it's going to turn into that, it's basically these people have belief this is what this thing is going to turn into. And that's why in previous videos, I have stated clearly that what have happened did not happen in state of the Israel. And so if China would want me dead, if India would want me dead, or I don't know what kind of country out there would want me dead, it wouldn't be their, it would be their fault. This is a lot of stuff, dirty stuff, they have done it, they shouldn't have done it, that's true. But the stuff that have happened happened under the total supervision and with a full approval of Moscow, of Russia. Serbia was deeply involved in it. This type of approach that Serbs have taken in this case, which is identical to German neo-Nazi concentration camps, after they alone, like I have stated, they alone have attacked Slovenia militarily. There were tanks here, planes, people were killed. On what they moved on to Croatia, Bosnia, and so on. And they get involved in this kind of stuff together basically with the Moscow, with some kind of attitude on how they can just do this kind of stuff somehow, because Slovenian politician, Borut Pahor, would be a president, and because these people from here somehow allow them for the stuff to go on like this, this isn't going to be tolerated. I mean, I am American citizen, and I am also Slovenian citizen, which is a European Union member state. And these people are not even in European Union, even today in 2018. And so if they think that this is just going to go like this unnoticed, on how they're going to collect, listen, they even came up with the death threats. They threatened, they had a bunch of death threats. What is it going to be if you're not going to do this? They're going to kill me. Serbs threatened. If anything different would come out, Alexander Vucic threatened. This is a gangster. This is a mobster. This individual is extremely dangerous. They threatened. They had this secret underground Yugoslav police that still functions basically, and it's positioned in all the ex-states of Yugoslavia, that if I'm going to open my mouth in respect to anything, that they're just going to kill me. Huh? What was anticipated the most would be just for me to keep my mouth shut, because it would be Putin that would give Kosovo back to Serbia. First Ukraine, then Kosovo. And so they take away from you no less than 11 years. They tell you that you have to complain about this stuff, then they tell you that you got to keep your mouth shut. Basically. Then what they do is they create some kind of scenario like this, and that you're going to actually collect the money for them. You get two things: cancer and the money. And the final recipient of that money would be Mr. Vujacic here with Mr. Pahor, and with this creme de la creme of the people who have done just so much for this country that is actually hard to understand. I really appreciate Mr. Kiska the other day, who was here from Slovakia, a real president who have explained Mr. Pahor that the politicians just shouldn't place their own ambitions, their own interests in front of the national people, even, what else can I say, even rights. And we are talking about Guantanamo here. We are talking about 11.5 years of Guantanamo life on behalf of the United States of America and Russia, basically. I'm going to put it this way, into a total, want to be really, really precise about it. Not only about what happened in 2007 when they changed tires on my car and all that other stuff, just forget about all this stuff that went on. For all this stuff, it was the order. The order was blame Americans and blame the Jews for everything. That's all there is. So I get to blame, the victim get to blame them for everything. They collect the money, the Moscow and Belgrade collects the money. They even would get investors, I understand, and stuff like this. And I would be dead, pretty much. I think instead of that, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the music around and we're going to start returning Jews the credibility and pretty much see them as equal, as decent and honest human beings. Because honest to God, folks, it wasn't for this crazy Jews. In one way, they steered a lot of problem for me. But in another way, this kind of stuff online that was done to me on a Facebook and all this kind of stuff, if they wouldn't have done this stuff, I really don't know how this thing would all end. To tell you the truth, here in Slovenia, the only thing they would do is they would just kill me. And they would kill me like this publicly, while people would be watching me literally on YouTube and everywhere else. Pretty much, just claiming that I'm insane, doing this kind of stuff. It's very difficult to obtain, any kind of proofs that something goes on. Okay, so when it comes to this, I gotta say, in a way, thanks to the Jews, even that they have created problems. They really did. But at least, look, they didn't walk away from me and leave me for dead, basically, like Russians desperately tried to do together with the Serbs. I mean, this is precisely what their plan was. So I just want to be honest about, this whole thing, who play what kind of role, because I'm not going to be taking, I love Russian people. I love them maybe more than anybody in this world. I love Russian people. It's just the biggest mistake I have done is that, at one point in my life, because of these people, I started to hate communism and I started to hate Russians. I turned into a Russophobe. And, there's no reason for anybody to develop any kind of hatreds based on criminals that should not be anywhere even near to politics. Yeah, and I really regret Borut Pahor too. I regret him that he wanted to see me dead so much, that he hated me so much, but yet he needed me so much. So many times I was loaded on a plane like a cattle, brought here, brought to the Belarus. They took me even to Israel and so on and so forth to get their deal going so they can get new technology, all kinds of stuff they got through this deal. And I really regret people that they are so hateful that they just have to betray people. They just have to do this kind of stuff to the people, and in the end just leave them for death, basically. Leave them in a dust to just go away. And I'm not the only one. There was another couple, like you were able to see on a news site I have described, and there were many other people too. And it's just Putin best quote. It's not a quote. I developed that quote based on watching how he performs this stuff. It's just that best held secrets for this individual are with the dead people. This is how Putin operates. This is true. This is a fact. Netanyahu, basically, whatever these people have asked him here in Slovenia, or the Russians or Slavs, they asked him. They had questions and they asked him for help, all kinds of helps. This individual, one thing I'm going to say to you, this individual never ever said to them, no, or I can't. This did not happen ever. In fact, they were asking him about this kind of attitude he had, because for everything they asked him, this individual have provided a solution, a help. And so in the end, because they can kill you in Germany, German government, or in Slovenia, Slovenians kill you, or I don't know, in Ukraine, Russians, or in Belarus, Russians kill you, or in America, American government gets you killed, Jews are guilty. And I am also the one who was guilty, but was a necessary evil in this process so they could get a new technology and everything. This isn't going to go like this through. Okay, here is what it is. It's actually really good stuff I came up with right now. It appears that all my stuff bought from the eBay for the major part is broken, destroyed. Here is what it is. Very important for me, because on the sticker from this item there was written that item went to Lithuania, Latvia, something like this. I am basically referring to this package here. This is what electromagnetic tester supposed to arrive from China, and it did in just, I don't know, 6-7 days, something like this. And then supposedly one would travel not from Latvia and Lithuania, but actually supposedly, according to the sticker here, one went even into Estonia. And that really doesn't make sense because of quite a few things. I mean, not only the travel item from Amsterdam to Slovenia that is got maybe about 2 days the most, entire 17 days, that's one thing. Even if the item would go to the wrong address somehow, and I really don't see how the item would go to the wrong address. I don't have any idea how the item could go to the wrong address. It says right here, my address, nicely, everything says, why would this go? It says right there, Slovenia. Clearly it says Slovenia right there. Why would this possibly go to Estonia? I don't know. Slovenia and Estonia, isn't that kind of different, I would say. You know, and the second thing is, if Deutsche Post would say, yeah, it did go, it's very unlikely they would say that, because the only thing that would happen would be this would just really be good for me, because I would take them to the court and sue the hell out of them based on collateral murder. Plot. That's what that is. My neighbor have used to switch packages what most likely I would say a microwave. He used that to detach flags and stuff. Whenever I have used double-sided phone tape from my walls, including the cables that I have posted about, camera cables, the other day on my news site, through the system, really easy system. Let's say that this here is a double-sided phone tape, or let's say this is just something that you glue on, let's say this surface here in my palm, let's say. Well, the beams of the microwave, I believe it's a microwave that he used, go right through, and on the other side what's happening is they hit the area. And so the stickers, you don't actually have to pull them, but they just fell off. This is how that's done. This is basically how that's done. I don't know what else to say about this. Under MK Ultra, I was told that this precisely is what the case is gonna be. And if I will complain to the police, the company will actually confirm that item somehow got lost to the Lithuania, Latvia, whatever that is, because it's a sticker on the item. Fact of the matter, however, is that company can no longer do any of that stuff, because I have received the item which supposedly traveled from Amsterdam to Slovenia, entire 17 days. Just as I was promised under MK Ultra, the case would be the neighbor would do with one. I don't know whether I wasn't told who's going to do that. Is going to he be the one doing this or Mitya Weber, because he does most of this kind of stuff. And so this item definitely will go to the police station. Okay, so here it is. This is April the 8th of 2018. I went for nice hiking yesterday, and guess what? Look what I found today. I mean, you think this individual, this neighbor, is a normal individual? You think this is normal? I mean, this is a totally brand new cable. Totally brand new cable, and look, he cut me one. Look at this. This definitely was not here the day before yesterday. And that this would happen on a brand new cable? No, again. So this individual is having his episodes, really. Very serious episodes. Okay, today. Let's see the time. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open the postage, the stuff that was delivered to me, and for some reason, because of my neighbor who did open lots of these packages, what I'm going to do is we're going to do basically is we're going to go ahead and we're going to check the time and everything when documenting all this stuff to ensure that everything was done properly the way it should be done. You see April 2018 it is, and this is the way it's done through the internet. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now let's go to the business. I'm going to open these packages and see what else we're going to find in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open these packages in a fashion that nobody will be capable to suggest me on how, I have cheated in any way. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to present the package like this, just like this. Then what I'm going to do is basically I'll open one, and in a portion of the package where no one will be able to say, well, the la la la. No. I'm going to open one right here. Tick. Can tell you. By the way, all my cards that I bought are now stolen. All my cards basically disappeared. Everything disappeared that I bought. Costed about 24 euros. Okay, I'm not even sure if this is the card really, my card, this thing here. I'm not precisely sure about it because it does look different from the first one, and I think I did order all of them. So again, we're going to look at the package. This is Nice. They're pretty good. Stick good. The easiest, best, and the cheapest way, probably, to cover your webcam. Okay, this here, February the 26th, I understand. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go and I am gonna open one like this. See what's gonna happen with this. A load of batteries in here. That's 18 something. Good stuff, really. But yeah, this stuff is still gotta be compared. All that stuff, it's gotta be compared with original videos. We got in here. $18,650 type of batteries. I see this is damaged. I see that stuff here, look at that. It's been damaged, the battery's been damaged already. Seems like if somebody damaged the batteries. Cut them, look, perfect, look at this. Brand new, right? Supposedly brand new, look at that. Damaged. Right here, you can see that already brand new cut. And my neighbor just loves to play with a knife so much. He cut me so many things. You see what this is? Look. You see this? And how am I supposed to use this stuff? Okay, what we're gonna do is, this is gonna be for the police. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put this stuff straight back inside so the police can see what it looks like to get the new package with already destroyed stuff inside. So we're gonna use this as evidence. This is actually just excellent. You already have seen the third such product, meaning that I will be actually even capable to prove what I have stated maybe in the part number 6 or 7. That's basically that neighbor was back inside of my room where the hairdresser was here, or before that, I don't know how, and have pick up 2 of those holders that you mount on a tripod. Because he delivered too many inside of the room, too many packages with his stuff. I have received others before that, and so if you would add them all, it would come to about probably number maybe even 7, not even 6. And so he came back and he picked up. So you saw right now that was the third item. So you're gonna see me in part number 6 or 7. I'm gonna talk about this very issue. Great Thank you so much. Now I know that I actually even am capable to physically prove what I have stated in part number 6 or 7, whatever. Show you something else with what the neighbor have switched me one with and so on. So. You can see me probably laughing right now. That's a fourth one. If you counted them, that's already a fourth one. Okay, so for my neighbor, there is no such thing as an escape. I'll tell you. He wrapped himself in like a super load of lies, totally. And he destroyed a load of his cards. So I was basically totally without the cards. Really caused some tremendous damage, this individual. Yeah, it's probably, I don't know, we're gonna find out, but both cards that I got look different than basically the first card that I got. So I don't know, I think that I ordered all of them from the same individual. This is not a cable, because he destroyed so many cables. You know, every cable I would buy. Wow, you can see this has like a really beautiful thing to hold cable in place. Every cable, everything I would buy, he would just destroy me everything. So I had to keep buying and buying and buying and buying. And I did not realize how he actually managed to get in from the beginning. It was too late. It went on like this for like 4 months. I relied on stuff that I shouldn't. And he used that stuff to destroy. This came today, supposedly. Let's see this thing here. It looks like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and open this thing right here like this. Let's see what is in here. Okay, this is still kind of close. I'm gonna shove this thing here. Basically open one like this.
As for the soul,
not new at all. This item I later on reminded myself of belonged to my neighbor Dane Collins, who was brazen enough under MK Ultra to, together with the Mitya Weber, have dared to come in my face under MK Ultra when they tortured me, and they suggested me, they actually provocated me on an issue on how I should even keep my stuff clean. In fact, that he's going to switch me this exact item with the item that I will order, to demonstrate me on just how clean the items should be kept. So again, some sort of, form of help. It's how I should see that as.
ordering stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now that a bunch of things that I ordered that were in his interest not to come, basically never ever even come. In fact, he could probably, most likely, he confiscated them and he has them in his home. So I'm glad I got this. I'm going to be able to use this for other stuff. This is as far as what I have received now. Okay, can open this one as well. Very, very expensive things that did not come, like lasers and stuff like this, that he actually was afraid I would use if I would catch him, because he was breaking inside of the home. And so he preferred for me not to get those lasers. This basically looks like yet another phone charger, sort of wireless phone charger. It looks like a phone charger, but there is no cable in it. You see that there is no cable anywhere, which basically most likely, let's see this thing here. See this thing here. Absolutely, I got to say that this stuff is missing. As you see, these things are missing. So this is yet another one, another item that from which was stolen. This stuff was stolen from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this thing back inside and really have police talk to this guy, because this shit went too far. Load of stuff you get destroyed, broken, load of stuff you don't even get. It's a total lunacy. It's a total lunacy. That's basically this. That's pretty much all I have. And what we're going to do is, it's not even difficult for me to prove the stuff I'm talking about. This is the stuff I had just opened. This is going to go with other two items for the police. I still have to go over other stuff that I have, but you can see I'm not hiding anything. This is basically all I had. We pretty much have opened everything. So I gotta say that you know, it's just not easy to have an individual like this as a neighbor. This is not an easy thing. I just want to record this. This is just my trimmers and stuff like this. No package. This is basically where I had the packages. This stuff, other items. Nothing that I would make a mistake or something that did not arrive. Now I'm going to show you the stuff that did not arrive at all. My God, there's a whole bunch of stuff that this individual just have stolen from me. I mean, this is amazing. There's a whole bunch of things. Now, I was hoping to open this with the police, but with it's nothing really going on with this police here. Stuff that never arrived to me. The mouse that you see here. This should be already a long time ago. This is from Spain, basically. Never arrived to me. Never ever. Look at this, $4 right there. Laser, look at that, $9. Never ever arrived to me. This laser here that you see right there, the cost $2.75, never ever arrived to me. The glasses that you see right there, that's basically protection from the laser. Never ever arrived to me, $1.80. And I see that I ordered, no, it's okay. I don't care about the gloss. You know, the bunch of stuff like this that is sensitive to him or that is sensitive to me. Okay, what I never got also is iPhone, Samsung, Hawaii tempered glass screen protector film. Did not get because he scratched me deliberately telephones, and he did this to keep me miserable basically. So when I ordered this stuff here, he would just confiscate that stuff. That stuff would not be delivered to me. So this is the stuff that, problem is that because of the stuff like this, you cannot even go and file for a return because you don't know what's going on. And if you would go and you would keep filing the returns with the sellers, I mean, can you imagine this? I mean, people would think like you're the biggest crook. Your neighbor retains the items and you keep filing the returns. This is a total disaster. All this shit that is stolen from me, all this stuff goes under my name or basically is stolen from my wallet. Personally. This is the kind of neighbor that I have. This here arrived broken already. He'd already destroyed me before I got. As a matter of fact, I think that this one here, I have not even gotten one. I never got this one here, was stolen. Because I got another one that was broken. So he gave me broken one instead.